Hi, everyone. Okay, so first, hi, it's Avery, the host of Teendom Talk Show, the talk show for the kids, the teens, and everyone in between. So today is our 2-year anniversary. I just can't, I just can't believe it. We are already at 2 years of Teendom Talk Show, and it feels like it has been less than one. I'm flabbergasted. I really, really, really am. So we have a lot in store for today's episode. I'm going to tell you that you guys are going to for sure enjoy it. Okay, we really are. I know that you guys are really going to enjoy the two guests that we're going to have on today, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I hope that you guys have had a great beginning of your February. Well, February, what in the world? A great beginning of your April. Why did I say February? Maybe it's because it's snowing outside here. Here in Chicago, it just started snowing an hour ago and I'm on spring break. So I really am not a big fan of it whatsoever. But we're in April now. It is April 8th. I hope that you all have had a great beginning of your April. I really want to know, has you all spring break passed yet? Because I know some people whose spring break was 2 weeks ago. And I know some people that aren't going to be having spring break until next week. So just let me know when you all spring break is, because I kind of want to maybe do some fun things that you could have done over spring break or could do over spring break, maybe, depending on when people's spring break is, because I know some have passed already, but that's also besides the point. I hope that everything has been going great. I hope that you have been blessed. I hope that things have been going well in your household, in your home, mentally, physically, all of that, because I know I am just over the moon when it comes down to Teendom Talk Show being around for 2 years now. It's a really big milestone to be able to have a show like this for 2 years, especially with a community as special as the Teendom Talk Show community. And once again, I cannot thank you all enough for just rocking with us these past 2 years. It has been a very crazy ride, but you guys have stuck around for all of it. And I'm so appreciative and so grateful. And we have a lot in store for these next years. And I just want to thank you all so much again. But I also, before we get into the guests that we are having for today's Teendom Talk Show episode, because some of you, if you are following me on my Instagram, you may already have a hint. If you check the credits for this episode, you may already have a hint as well. But I'm going to show you all my little love letter that I have to Teendom Talk Show and kind of describing a little bit more of my gratitude because I don't know how good I can do it live. So I pre-recorded it for you all. So let's get into that. And yeah, I will stop ranting now. Okay, so forewarning, I am in a current state of disbelief and probably will be for the next couple of weeks. So I just want to let you guys know. Happy 2-year anniversary. What? Well, like what? Teendom Talk Show is officially 2 years old. It does not seem real. I cannot believe that 2 years ago this time, it was 2020, and a couple months before that, like I said, like maybe in like February, I had thought of the concept of, having a talk show that will be for the kids, the teens, and everyone in between, this thing that you guys are so used to hearing me say. And it would be in person. It wouldn't be something that's virtual. Like my mind, I didn't even think of that. And then all of a sudden we were in a global pandemic where absolutely none of us had any clue what was going on and we all had to be self-isolated in the house. And at first I thought, oh my gosh, this idea cannot even happen anymore. Like there's no way that I'll be able to make it work. And then I did. And Teendom was created back when I was 12 years old, and it was a show where I had so many different people on, and it was one of the most fun things in the world. I absolutely loved it. And it still is. It's one of the main things that I enjoy doing. And just seeing myself back then to now where I am, I've seen a lot of growth, not only in myself, but in the show as a whole, which is something I'm so glad to be able to see since it's been positive growth. We have new segments. We were able to branch out from doing live stream to doing whole pre-recorded episodes to back to live stream and incorporating pre-recorded segments. Like it's just been such a huge, long journey that I have no plans on stopping anytime soon. So I guess you could kind of say this is like my little love letter to the show, like Teendom Talk Show. I love you so much. I mean, we've been through a lot together, through a global pandemic that we are still unfortunately in, to having so many different guests on who I've honestly created great relationships with. And not to mention the technical difficulties that we've had to get through.
Are you okay? especially that Christmas one. It's definitely a big one for me.
Technical difficulties.
But overall, Teendom Talk Show just means so much to me. And I cannot thank anyone more than all of the people who have been constantly supporting me through this entire journey. And the Teendom community has grown a lot since we first started. Like, we started with 0 and now have grown with all of you. And I cannot thank you enough for all of this. It just truly is such a blessing to me that I'm able to come on every week and just share myself, share the world, share all these wonderful, amazing people with you every single week. And I just really hope that you all have been enjoying all of the Teendom Talk Show content. I would assume that you have, considering that you've been sticking with us for over 700 days now. But at the same time, I always just want to be able to grow and exceed your expectations. And once again, I cannot thank you enough for the support, for all of the subscriptions, for all of the shares, just for coming on every week and watching and enjoying Teendom Talk Show with me and everyone else who's been a part of it. It just means a lot to me, and I could honestly go on and on and on for hours about how much this show means to me as a whole and how I hope it can mean a lot to you all as well. But I wouldn't do that because I can be a ranter sometimes. But what I do know is that with this Teendom Talk Show episode, our 2-year anniversary, I am so excited for a couple of guests that are gonna be on the show with us. If you have been following me on my Instagram, then you know this past year I created a series with my parents called CA Squared. Now, you guys really love CA Squared, and so do I, because I love my parents. But we have had to take a little bit of a hiatus due to our very hectic schedules. But considering that this is a very special occasion for Teendom Talk Show, and they just so happened to be on last year and you guys absolutely loved it, I decided who would be better to have on with me for one of the most special occasions than the 2 most special people in my entire life, my mom and my dad. So to the 2 people that allowed me to create my dream amidst a time where we didn't even know dreams could be created, thank you so much for everything. So coming up, we will have my mom, Amy, and my dad, Avery's dad, who you can call Charles, by the way, here with me on the Teendom Talk Show 2-year anniversary special. And once again, I just want to thank you all so much for rocking with me and Teendom Talk Show for these past 2 years. We still have a lot in store, so make sure to stick around with us for a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it. I love you all so much, and thank you so much for being a part of the Teendom with me. The space for the kids, the teens, and everyone in between. Let's get into it.
Okay, wait, let me move this camera because you can see the wall. Okay, so I'm with my parents. This is the first time I feel like I've done like a little like transition type beat. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like moved from, why are you guys not saying anything?
What? You're talking.
Okay, so hello. You 2 can do your introduction. So I'm Avery, you're
Amy.
and you're
Avery's dad.
Charles, and we are not here for a CA Squared, but here for Teendom. And there are some people that may be watching. Now, why are you laughing? Why are you like that? And his teeth look so white in the camera.
My teeth are white.
It looks like Chester cheese. Okay, so we're not here for a CA Squared. Some people watching this right now may be watching because of CA Squared, and some people watching may be watching because of Teendom. So these are my parents, Avery, Amy, Charles, and I feel like the CA Squared name is kind of like explanatory. But today I really wanted to have them on. Oh my God. I really wanted to have the 2 of them on with me live together just because they're like the 2 most important people in my life. And CA Squared is something that's very important to me. And oh my God. And they're very important to me and very important for Teendom even existing in the first place. So I wanted to have them on. And last year we played a little trivia game talking about some of the Teendom Talk Show episodes. But today we'll be doing some different games. So let me actually show you guys because we're gonna have to use the screen share feature a lot. You guys ready for that? Okay. So the first game that we'll be playing is something that we've actually played before. It's Who's Most Likely To. Do you guys remember how to play this? Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll explain it, even though it kind of says it in the title. So stop the smiling. Oh my gosh. So with who's most likely to, there's going to be a question. I did a poll on my Instagram, and people gave in their who's most likely to questions. So based off the question, we're going to have to say, out of the three of us, who's the most likely to do this or to have this happen to them. Does that make sense?
Wait, we finna get questions from strange people?
They aren't all strange people.
They're fans.
Yeah.
Teendom.
Yeah.
Strangers,
They
Fans,
they-
watchers, viewers.
community
Randoms.
members.
community members.
Yes, community
We
members.
like community.
Yes. So are you
Our
part of the Teendom? Yes. Okay. So are you two ready to get started with the Who's Most Likely to game?
Yay!
Okay. So let's get into the first question. So the first question is, who is most likely to get their own reality TV show?
Me.
Really?
Mhm.
Why?
Cause I have a great smile.
What do you mean reality?
Like
Like
People follow me around.
love and hip hop?
like Real Housewives. I
Real House Husbands?
like Real Husbands of Hollywood.
No, not Hollywood. Joe.
Yeah.
He has this very like interesting personality. Like he'd get a lot of screen time, but it wouldn't all be for the greatest reasons. You know?
Shade.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
She
Okay.
is so like,
My chain popping.
Okay, let's just go to the next question. Okay. So the next question is, who is most likely to cry over a sad, it says mocie? I think it's movie.
Typo.
who's most like me?
Yeah, mommy is most likely to cry. She's a crybaby.
Yeah.
Well,
I am.
yeah, she's a crybaby. I'm not gonna lie about that one. She's not the strongest when it comes down to emotional stuff. So,
I am. But I use crying.
well, yeah. That's what it is.
You're making me feel bad. Don't feel bad. Most people misunderstand it as long as I get it. It's fine.
Okay, I mean, like I get it.
But I would be the most likely
to cry over sad movie. Yeah, he'd. I think I've seen him cry over one movie, and that was Fatherhood on Netflix with Kevin Hart. He started crying like the first 5 minutes into the movie. It's just
No, it's not a secret. Any father-son interactions or father interactions. I mean, I'm a dad.
yeah. So that's the one.
I
But
can relate.
why are you laughing? So she's the most likely to cry over a sad movie. Who's most likely to run away from home?
Me.
Why?
Me. If
Why?
it wasn't snowing, I'd be gone.
I don't think you have the guts to do that.
Well, run away from home?
Where would you run to?
The movie.
No, United Center.
United
Bulls
Center.
about to play.
Oh, is that why you were wondering how long this is gonna take? Because there's a Bulls game after this?
Yes.
Okay. See, I was one before this episode started, he was like, how long are we gonna be on here for? How long is this gonna
My
last?
chain popping.
And I was like, I don't know, Daddy. I don't know. And he was just like, oh. And it's good. What time does the game start? 7?
7
Okay. Good to know.
Central Time.
Central. All right, let's see. What is the next question? Next question is, who's most likely to forget important birthdays?
Your dad.
Really? I was gonna say you.
I'm gonna go with what the host said.
Why do you say Daddy?
Because most of the time I remind him of the important birthday.
Oh, you do?
That doesn't mean I don't know.
You don't acknowledge them, so nobody knows.
Yeah. I mean, I don't forget birthdays that much. I know that I know in the past I've forgotten like 2 birthdays.
Cool.
I forgot my friend Nicole's birthday. I felt really, really bad, and I texted her like the day after, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then afterwards, I forgot my other friend Liam's birthday. But to be honest, I didn't really know it was his birthday until like that day. So, but I don't forget like my family's birthdays that much. What do you mean?
Next question.
Oh wait, that's okay. Okay. All right. Next question is, who's most likely to break out in song?
Oh,
Daddy.
Me.
Okay. So
Me.
No.
Me?
You.
Me.
it's him.
I'm the king of the remix.
Yeah, like literally how is it? What makes it me?
Because you break out into songs.
He breaks out into song more than I do. Do you not hear every single morning? It'll be like 6:30 in the morning. He will start, and then after
But he breaks out into song when he's listening to a song. You just break out into a song.
he breaks out in a song for no, he'll be
Okay,
bored.
we have to ask the viewers what is their definition of breaking into song, because you will just bust out in a song. He plays the same song every morning and then sings it.
Well, no, it's like he busts out into songs randomly. We were in the kitchen today, and I was trying to make me some breakfast, make me some toast.
Do you have to say make me? Can't you just say make some toast?
Are you gonna correct my
I'm sorry.
grammar? So you have to do that
Sorry,
right
sorry,
now.
go ahead.
She has to do that all day. But I was in the kitchen making some toast, and he just starts randomly busting out into song. He wasn't listening to anything. He didn't have his little AirPods
Yes, he
in.
did. He always has his AirPods.
They're not working.
They're not working.
Apple,
Oh,
Not you calling
I
them
need
out.
new
And
AirPods.
get your wallet.
Sponsor this.
Get your wallet.
oh gosh. Okay, next question.
Okay, let's see what the next question is. I don't think there are too many left. Okay, so next is try and get a refund over something small. Her.
Me.
Oh,
All my coins matter.
This,
All coins matter. All of them. All coins matter.
I know that we were in. What was it? We were in Walmart. Every time that we go to like a Walmart and she like, let's say we're doing a curbside pickup, right? I remember one time, was it an umbrella that you were trying to return?
Umbrella, Ella,
outside.
Ella.
Yeah,
Ella.
and she was just like, and it was like they weren't giving it to her correctly, so she's like, no, I'm returning this. She always will return, and even with like little stuff.
If people don't give you good service, then you shouldn't pay your money for it.
I know, but she always like retracts the service after the purchase, but it's not like she's
Not
used the purchase.
always.
Okay, not always. A good like 92% of the time.
I just return stuff that I don't use.
Yeah.
If you're not using it, if you buy it and then 2 weeks later you still haven't used it, then you return it. You bought it.
It'll be
you
like
get wrong
it'll be like
conditions.
cute stuff though, like stuff that you'll get like a Five Below, and if you don't use it, then she'll go and return.
Am
it.
I buying it from Five Below? Or are you buying it?
Okay, next question. This one. Oh, is that your phone ring? Okay. What's the next one? Who's most likely to die first in a zombie apocalypse?
Definitely not me.
I would say you.
What? I have survival skills. It's gonna be one of y'all.
No, he'd be first to die.
Well, I probably would try to save y'all.
Mm.
Avery, don't go over there. I bit my hand. You get away, because I'm gonna turn into a zombie. Ah! Y'all survive. Go away. Dun, dun.
What in the world? See? Bust out in the song. You were right.
Oh,
You were right.
boy,
Bust out.
boy, I do my Thriller rendition. I can
And
do
that would save you from the zombie.
Zombie apocalypse.
That's exactly how I would do. When I
See-
turn into a zombie, I'm going into Thriller.
See what? I feel like he'd be the type of person who's gonna be like, I'm gonna blend in. Like he'd like try and blend in with them.
Try to blend in.
So he wouldn't be caught.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, everybody would be like,
They'd be
"You're
like,
not one of us."
yeah, like you're not one of us. And then they
They'd be like-
kill him. And then I feel like she'd be most likely to survive. Me and Daddy, we're at like the same rank. She's like here. We're kind of like at the same rank. I would die because it'd be an accident. Like,
No, I would probably die because I would.
aw, how sweet. And I see that's very different opinions and thoughts.
You live longer in a zombie apocalypse. I will die now.
He'd be too busy dancing a Thriller to die. What's the next question?
Let me see. Do we have any more? Who's most likely to questions? Because I know we're doing a little. I did a Q&A on my. Okay. Yes. So now we're at the Q&A point. So Kell's Q&A. So I did 2 separate polls on my Instagram story. I did one that's who's most likely to, and one that's a Q&A. And you guys asked some interesting questions that I'm kind of interested to hear the answer to. I know the answer to some of them because they're obviously like my family. I see them every day. But hopefully this will answer some of your questions that you guys had for us. So I'm excited for this one. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh my God. Okay. So the first one is,
This I have to say this is from my friend Marco. Why is Mr. and Mrs. Kelley so cool? So Marco thinks that you're a really great person because
Great choice.
you play PlayStation and
Very good at it.
you like Star Wars and you used to
Yes.
play baseball and that's
I
your
did.
favorite sport. So
Did.
so why is Mr. and Mrs. Kelley so cool? Can you answer Marco's question?
I don't think we're that cool.
I mean, she speaks for herself. I'm cool. I can break out in Thriller. You see what I'm saying? And I got jewelry. My beard is connected.
Didn't you just have a goatee like 3 months ago?
I mean, you know,
I don't think we're that cool, but thank you.
I'm very cool.
Whoever sent the
Thank you,
question.
Marco.
Marco sent the question.
Marco's
Thank
my
you,
guy.
Marco.
Me
I
and
like
you.
Marco
Me and
too.
you, Marco.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Okay, too much.
Okay.
To the next
Let me know the
question.
PSN, Marco.
I knew you were gonna say
I'll
that.
invite you to a card game. Play a card match.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
See, she don't know this. Okay.
I do.
Yeah. Who's the scariest out of you three? I feel like we can all answer this. Let's say it on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, mommy.
Me.
Yeah.
Scariest meaning what?
Well, scariest meaning like
Scared of stuff?
I interpret it as being more scared of stuff. I don't think it's like in terms of like coming off as more scary because coming off is more scary as him.
No, I come on.
Well, no, you're
I'm scared as I would.
the only reason that you're intimidating is because of your height. Other than that, you aren't that intimidating of a person.
Mm-mm.
Well, America.
But
I am the mama bear, and I am the scariest. I don't watch. Well, scary meaning that I don't like watch scary movies. I'm not gonna watch movies with like guns and stuff in them.
well, not even that, but also
But I
just
will
like,
choke somebody out.
but also like the like the scream, like when it comes out of that type of stuff. Like,
You scream over more stuff than I do.
Well,
and
my-
he does too.
well, our screams are like they aren't actually being scared of stuff. We're just dramatic.
You guys scream way more.
Well, this is the thing. Everyone who knows me can say that I'm a very dramatic person. So like it'll be something that's like little, and I'll be like over it. That's just
Well, he doesn't scream like that. He'll just be like, Amy, 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 Amy.
He'll do like this scream when like something's wrong. He'll be like Amy, 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 and he'll like, and no one will know what's
And
wrong.
it'll be
It's
like
something
repeated
little.
over and over again. And they'll be like, what's wrong? They're like, look at that spider.
Oh yeah, him.
That's not scary. I just want you to see the spider.
No, with you every
Before-
time.
Before he gets deceased.
She kills
Take a
it.
look at this spider. Because this is about to go.
No,
To
You're
the-
gonna come and kill it.
to the
I'm gonna come and kill it.
she is well. That's what also coming from like she was not born in the country, but she spent more time down there than we did. So like when it comes down to like that type of
I
stuff,
spent more time in the country than she did.
Oh my God.
that is not
She
true.
almost made
She
me
was in-
Sarah
she-
Hill.
She was in Illinois. She
What
was
up,
in
Sarah?
Illinois.
Hi, Sarah.
She was in Illinois.
What? She was in Illinois. She was in Mississippi.
No, she wasn't.
You were in the city of Mississippi.
No.
You were in Maywood, Dad.
In the summers, he was, and when he would go to Mississippi, he would go to the city.
You wouldn't even go to the country part.
No, he brags about like he stayed in a
Oh
hotel
my
and swam in swimming
God.
pools.
Well, I did.
Right.
That's not the country
I went to
though.
Shoney's.
That's why he's like Amy, Amy, Amy.
Every time,
spider.
if there's a bug, if there's like a bug,
What's a college in the South?
Well, clearly,
with the ex-
your roommate killed the spiders.
with the ex-
Kevin did not kill the
Still,
spiders.
Kevin, okay.
Sylvester did not kill the spiders.
with the exception of snakes, I'd say when it comes down to animals, then that's where it's he's a little bit scary. But in terms of like
I ain't scared of no animals.
in terms of like scariest, like roller coasters, no.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
gonna
driving
I'm not scared of
on.
roller coasters.
What?
I'm sorry, I gotta tell this story
You
now.
just said that to be called out.
I gotta tell the story now. We went to Minnesota when I was what 11. No, I was 10. I was 9 or 10. We went to Minnesota and we went to Mall of America. Now you know she's not about to get on any rides, so I made him get on. I made him get on the rides with me because I was like young. They were gonna let me go by myself. And on one of the rides, it was like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ride that was in.
It was bigger than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, that was the theme of the ride.
Oh.
That was the theme of the ride, and it was like a big ride. Like they like spun you all the way up to the roof and then spun you back down. And I was like screaming. I was like, "Daddy!" like excited, and he was passed out. Yes, you were. He was passed out.
Before he passed out, he was screaming.
He was like,
this person screaming.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
That's exactly. He like said something like, "Oh Jesus."
Yeah, he was. And I don't think you haven't been on a roller coaster.
He hasn't been on a roller coaster since then.
That was his roller coaster exit strategy.
I do roller coasters.
He'll do them, but he will like be like out like a light on them. You had to say that to be called down because that was the
He wanted that to be
I didn't have my daughter on no roller coaster by herself.
Okay.
What's the next question?
Okay, let's see what the next question is. Okay, so the next one is, what's your favorite and least favorite things about each other? This is a hard one.
What's your favorite and least favorite thing?
My favorite.
What's your favorite thing about us?
My favorite thing about both of you guys is individual. So my favorite thing about Daddy is that he is very. I like his energy makes my energy higher if it's feeling lower. So he can definitely cheer me up if I'm down, even if it's unintentional. And I really appreciate it. And you also. Like he's a nonchalant person, but that nonchalantness is very needed in some situations. So if I need advice that isn't even like super in depth, but just something like get up, you'll be fine. Like I know I can come to him for that, and I really appreciate that. So I would have to say those are my top 2 favorite things about you. And also you're just like a loving person, and you're my dad. I love you. So
I'm handsome.
okay, those are and you gave me height. I really appreciate that as like a tiny thing. Like you gave me height. I really appreciate that. You kind of did, just not so much then. So I really appreciate that. So thank you. My least favorite thing.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh,
it's hard, isn't it? It's so many. Can't tell all of them.
I'd have to say my least favorite thing about it. That's kind of hard to say about your parents, but I'd have to say sometimes the busting out into random songs, he has a hard time sometimes reading a room. And when I say that, I mean like let's say that
you have a bad day.
Because like sometimes like me and my mom will like kind of get into it. It won't be like getting into it, but sometimes we'll just like get back in the house after like driving home from school or something, and we'll both kind of be like and like kind of like saying this and like being quiet, and then it'll be like, hey, and then afterwards he'll like start dancing and stuff, and then he'll like start playing music, and afterwards he'll be like, what up? And then we'll kind of just turn around both like, and then he'll be like, oh, and then like not even retracts either. So sometimes he has a hard time reading a room, which is like can be great, but at the same time also a little annoying at times. So
I agree.
Mom, what's your favorite and least favorite thing about Daddy? They probably have more to say now.
Let's start with the least first.
I think she has some contemplating to do before she chooses.
So my favorite thing about your dad is not that. Is he's really smart and can do almost anything. And my least favorite thing about your dad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm smart.
My least favorite thing
he's smart when he
about
wants
your
to
dad is that
also very artistic.
he's very smart and can do almost anything, but he's very lazy, so he doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah. My favorite in movies.
Oh.
If this was pre-recorded, you could put the big censor word across my mouth, and I'd be like,
We're live. Remember that, we're live. But that makes sense. Okay, so
But he's brilliant.
yeah, he's a really smart person when he wants to be, for sure. And you have a lot of great attributes too. Okay, so now, mommy, my favorite thing about you, your persistence, your perseverance, and resilience on there. And I know that I can come to you with anything. Like I know that I can come to her and it'll be like a no judgment, like it'll be like a judgment-free zone, whether or not I'm talking about like me, my personal life, like how I'm feeling like mentally, situations with like other people, like friends, crushes, whatever. I know that I can go to her with it and she'll give me like advice, but it won't be judgment based. Not saying that I can't go to him because I know that I can. It's just that I know.
See his reaction when you said crush.
Yeah, it's just that I know that sometimes he'll want to go out and do some things that could get him arrested if it comes down to certain situations. He's a very protective person. So
Don't make me do nothing.
yeah, don't make me do nothing. And he's like, I won't be coming home. Like things like that. Like so I know that there's some things I want to like tread lightly with because he's very protective and she's too. But I know that I can come to you with anything. So I really appreciate that about you. So I'd have to say favorite thing. Least favorite thing. Ooh, when I'm talking to you and I'm like saying something and I'm like and I like ask you a question and then I'll be like, oh hey, mom, what time does blah 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 start? Mom.
I always have like 60 million things going
And
on.
she won't answer me. Like she would have just been talking to me, and then afterwards she'll be like either staring off in his face or like looking at her phone, and she won't even be doing anything on their phone. But she'll like hear me and not answer me for 30 seconds.
But there are some times where I don't answer you just because I don't have the answer. Like you'll come and be like,
Then can't you say I don't know?
Well, you'll come and say, can I blah 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 blah, and I don't have the answer at the moment.
So you say
and so
I
I
don't
don't say anything because I'm thinking. I'm thinking. You don't give me enough time to think. And then other times I don't answer because I may have zoned out and tuned you out. Like sometimes I just like you'll be like, because you know how you rant, and so you'll like start with one thing and then it'll go into something else. By the time you get to the question, I'm kind of still on the first part.
I know like today, for instance, she was like on her phone doing something and I was talking about my friends because I hung out with my friends last night. So I was talking about that. They wanted to hang out again today. I was talking to her about that. I saw a Twitter notification. BTS is doing a concert tonight. Started talking to her about that. And then afterwards, I went back to the friend thing. I'm like, oh, so I'm not going tonight, right? And then afterwards, she was just like,
because you lost me with the BTS thing.
Like, I just don't. I'm up here
telling you don't talk to me about BTS because you lose me every time.
I can balance multiple conversations.
Clearly,
and she can't. So that's something that I wish that we were more aligned with. But Daddy, what's your favorite and least favorite thing about mommy?
They're both one word. My favorite, tenacity, and my least favorite, tenacity.
Makes sense.
That
makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm smart. Look it up.
Okay, that's
Webster.com.
Webster Dictionary.
So when it's almost like it's almost like if you're playing sports, right, and you're going against an opponent that just gets under your skin, and then you say, I would rather play with that person than play against that person. That's kind of like how it is. You want to own your team. You don't want to get off your team.
If she's off your team,
if she's your opponent,
scary.
you don't want her. If she's on your team, then you're glad to have her.
It's very scary. Like you want to.
It's one of those things. So, what Kenny Rogers say? You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yeah.
I think that was Kenny Rogers.
Okay.
So.
Oh, now it's me.
Now Avery. Let's see.
Why'd you look like that? Okay.
I love everything about her. To be honest, I mean, she's been a joy. She's still a joy.
Been a joy. Am I only here for a residential study?
Yeah, she cool. She cool. She a cool kid, you know.
You have a least favorite.
I would say them. I mean, overall, she's a cool kid. So it's, you know, when we hang out, we have a good time. We do have similar taste in a few things.
You are holding back here.
And we do it. We hang out. We hang out. It's cool. What I don't like about her, I mean, she's a teenager. I don't like teenagers like that. I mean, you know, I like them to work with them because, you know, when I'm an authority figure and they look up to me or whatever, and it's cool. But she's a teenager. I'm not supposed to like her like that.
It's supposed to be the other way around.
It's about lie. I mean, you're a teenager. It's just you.
What he's trying to say is have a mouth.
You are the most unreliable person on the planet when you're a teenager. I've told you that before. That's the truth. Teenagers are the most unreliable beings on the planet because you guys have.
This is personal.
You guys have things that are more when stuff are more important to you. Sometimes the things that matter most you forget because you're focusing on that thing. So sometimes you're unreliable. Meaning, if I ask you to do something by noon, you would have found 50 other things to do to prioritize over the thing I said do at noon. Then at 2 o'clock, I'm asking did you do it, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't do it. And then you may come up with a reason why you couldn't have done it because you put things as more of a priority. So,
I do that sometimes.
So I look at that across the board with teenagers, and most parents would probably agree. Some may not. Maybe some got a good hold of the kid. But
you don't have a good hold of me?
Oh, I got a hold of it. It's just if it's the least, I would just say, you know, you're a teenager, man. Once you get past teenage age, oh yeah, you're gonna be my dog.
Homies.
We're gonna be homies. I'll show you how to change oil in the car.
What would you say is
change the tire?
What would you say is your most favorite and least favorite thing about me? This is a great question. Thank you for asking this.
My most favorite thing about you is your spirit. So you are very loving. You care about people a lot. You'll like sacrifice things for yourself to try to help other people. So I love your spirit. You're always giving and trying to make sure everybody's okay and be happy, and you brighten up lots and lots of spaces and always have. You know, you were that toddler who I was like scared to take to Target
because I would speak to everybody.
And I was like, somebody's gonna take her out the cart. My least favorite thing about you, being clumsy, because I'm clumsy and it scares me.
I'm a very clumsy person.
I know how like clumsiness has affected me and things like that. So it just, I hate it because I feel like I passed it on me.
I'm gonna call myself out here. I walked into a wall.
She walked into a full door.
It was bad, yeah.
And she was looking at it. It wasn't like she was like looking away and walking into it. Like she just.
I was in the kitchen and I turned around and she was on the phone and I was walking towards the line and I just started boom. It was that. But yeah, okay, that's something I'll work on. That was a good question. Whoever asked that.
Woo, the next one.
But you are not non-dependable.
I'm very reliable.
You're a reliable teenager.
Who's the most straight up?
We both are.
Yeah, they're very. I feel like it gets to the point where sometimes they're too straight up. I feel like I'm the biggest like. Try and ease it over.
In the house?
In the house, yeah. Like I will, like if there's like a situation that's kind of wrong, I'll be like, oh, it's okay. It can. Well, I'm also more optimistic than both of them, but I'm the most optimistic out of the both of them. But also, they're just both very like nonchalant and blunt.
Nonchalant.
Well, not nonchalant, blunt.
Blunt.
Yeah, they both can be very blunt.
Next question.
Now, you want to get to this Bulls game quick, don't you? Did you not record it?
Don't worry about what I do.
Okay, so he recorded it. Hulu. How do y'all balance your life? You seem so busy. LOL. I don't think we do. I don't know if we did.
I don't know if it's a balance. I think it's just get it done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like it's more so.
Are we muted?
No.
Oh.
Imagine we were muted this entire time. Do you know how embarrassing that would be?
But that would be kind of like get it done with our lives, not balanced. Kind of goes with the question.
Yeah, we definitely. I'd say we kind of have like an understanding of each other's schedules. Like we know that like right now, like for instance with mommy's situation, like work, it's all like virtual for her. Same with daddy's, like all virtual. But they still have like meetings from time to time. So sometimes I have to shut up. And that's hard for me.
But it's the same with us for you.
Yeah,
Sometimes
same.
you have meetings, so you have to shut up.
Yeah, so I feel like we kind of have an understanding, and I feel like also with like what I'm doing, I feel like it's kind of almost like has similarities to what they're doing with their jobs too. Like I still get on Zoom meetings like they do, and I still have like tasks to finish like they do with school and like work related. So I feel like we have like an understanding of each other when it comes to our schedules, and know like, oh, if one person can't do this because of like work or something, and afterwards we'll find another time to like hang out or do something. Because I know I've multiple times I've had to cancel on you for movies and watching our Marvel shows. And I know multiple times with you, I've had to cancel on our All American days.
Yeah, I think that we have some scheduled things that just stick to it.
Yeah.
To make our work lives work. Your dad and I. And then the rest of it is just like we know that other schedule, and so we stick everything else in between.
Yeah. Like we know.
And go from there.
Yeah, like we know for a fact. Like
Sleep's overrated. You can sleep when you
I love that. Can we get that on a shirt? Like seriously. Like I know like when he has meetings, he texts us to both be
I was
quiet.
gonna say the family group chat.
Yeah. The family group chat is very helpful. I feel like out of all of us, he's like. Are you sure? It really looks like that's what you're doing. He's really anxious to get to this Bulls game. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah, he's very anxious to get to this Bulls game. He's about to get up in a second. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, next question. We don't have too many left, actually. If you had to change one thing in your lives, what would it be? I know my answer.
What?
COVID.
You said change one thing in my life?
I mean, like I would change like the pandemic being here that could like dangerously hurt us because, but I wouldn't.
Don't you feel like you learned a lot?
I'm not saying that I would change the quarantine because I wouldn't. I'm not saying that I'm not very sad that it like had to happen due to the fact that multiple people were dying and that COVID was impacting so many people and still constantly is, because it is. But I also am very grateful for the time, because I feel like we all changed as people, and I feel like it was needed for everybody. But out of all things that I would change the sickness, like the actual disease being here. But I wouldn't change like being here current.
Want to kill people.
Yeah, like I would change COVID being able to kill people. Like if there's one thing in my life that I could change at this very moment, but not change the rest of my life before it, was take would take COVID-19 away. Because then afterwards I wouldn't have to be scared for like my family anymore, because mommy's high risk and daddy was still at risk too, but mommy's high risk and I'm high risk and my other family is too. So I would, and my friends, and I would just change that, because I know that it impacts a lot of people, including myself, in not the best way. But I wouldn't change like anything else, if that makes sense. What would you say, Daddy? Would you change anything?
I just roll with the punches.
That's because I feel like everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean?
If I could change one thing in my life, I probably would say make it so I could eat gluten. But I do feel like that saved my life. So, but I wish I could have some White Castles
and Popeye.
White Castles, Popeyes, and
What about a pizza puff?
Red Lobster. Oh, You had those pizza crusts for your birthday.
Yeah. I felt really bad, honestly.
But I mean, if that's something, if I could change something but not change something.
Yeah, without
You know
like
what I mean?
changing like the way that like your life overall
Yeah,
is
like not change how it
going.
what that thing, like how you said with COVID-19, you want COVID-19 to go away, but the quarantine from it was the blessing. I feel like I would just change where with gluten where I could go back and eat the foods now.
Yeah, like
but I wouldn't eat them all the time. Like if
Yeah.
I could just eat it once a year.
yeah, like one day out of the year have like a day where you wouldn't get like
Yeah,
what
I
we
can
call
have my gluten day.
what we call gluten. So when she
Yeah.
gets like gluten, it'll like that's like the stuff.
It just makes me feel really powerful.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like everything happens for a reason. God makes everything happen.
For sure. What's the next question?
All right.
Your dad's on
Yeah, he's going straight to sleep. He's not built for this live stream life. I
Wake
just realized that. Okay, I think we have like maybe. What happened? Okay. Oh, is that the last question? Oh wait, that might be the last question. All right, we finished the question. So now, I have one more thing to talk to you all about. Just it's very quick. So as you know, it is the I feel like Daddy is representing the audience right now, so I'll make it really quick and short. So as you all know, it is the Teendom Talk Show 2-year anniversary. The whole reason that I have you guys on the show with me today is because of how special of a day it is for Teendom, and it would not be happening without the two of them. I really hope that you know that. And what with Teendom Talk Show going into its 2nd year, how are you both feeling? Because you guys have grown along with me with the show as much as I have.
Feeling about Teendom?
Teendom, just it overall, being the 2-year anniversary. What are your feelings on it?
I think it's amazing. Well, what's your dad?
I like your consistency.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I mean, that's a life lesson. If anything, you decided if you wanted to do it, you stuck with it. You continue to grow and evolve and get consistent. That's what I like to see.
Thank you, Daddy.
Good job.
All right. What do you?
I was thinking the same thing. The consistency. I love your dedication. I love your perseverance. I love just some of the people that you've met from doing Teendom.
Yeah.
Some
really good people.
Yeah. From Teendom, you've made some great friends.
Yeah.
Some business acquaintances, and we've done some fun things because of Teendom.
Yeah, we've done some very fun things.
So it doesn't seem like it's been 2 years at all. The goat thing.
The
was
goat
fun.
yoga was fun.
It doesn't seem like it's been 2 years. I think that you created a platform for the kids, the teens, and everyone in between, where that's so needed, and I hope that it's expanded so it can reach even more, and you can.
We're paying attention, don't worry.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
I hope that it's expanded so you can reach even more people, and that it can grow in the ways that you've dreamed of. So.
Okay. So I thank you for that, seriously. And I'm just excited for this next year of Teendom Talk Show, you know.
What do you plan on doing? What do you think? What do you think of the past 2 years?
These past 2 years have been crazy. I know that Teendom Talk Show has changed my life a lot in terms of like my business life, my work life, my personal life, and kind of been like the thing that ties all 3 of them together.
So you consider that you have a business and work life?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Should I not consider that? I mean, like
no, because I don't think anybody realizes how much work you do.
Yeah. Like for instance, also today. Yeah, you two know the work that I put in, but I don't think everyone else does. So why did my voice just crack? What in the world? I just sound like a 12-year-old boy. What? So I. Okay. I'll make it quick. So I.
So just do.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's and now starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls. Okay. So I know that in terms of today, I spent a good maybe 6 hours getting today's episode ready, which doesn't even seem like in this overall, it doesn't even seem like it would take that long of a time, but it genuinely took that long of a time. So even when I went to pre-recorded, like I maybe had like 7 hours of sleep. And I think that's because I'm doing something that I love. So it doesn't feel like work, even though it is. I know that it's feeding into like my work life, and it's taking out sometimes of what some teenagers would consider their personal life, because I still like sometimes I can't always hang out with my friends because I'm doing what I do, but it's because I love it. I don't mind doing it. And that's what I've learned from Teendom Talk Show. And I've learned that I really enjoy hosting. I've learned that I really enjoy creating content like this for everyone.
What do you hope for Teendom Talk Show
in the next 2 years? In the next 2 years, I'm going to be 16, turning 17. So I really hope to be able to expand our Teendom community. That's something that I really hope for. I hope that we can expand to a point where we can reach so many people on a platform level. So that's something that platform, as in not necessarily having to live stream it, but it be picked up on a platform, which is something that I really want to be able to do for Teendom, because I know we'll be able to expand the Teendom community and be able to reach so many people. It isn't even for me personally, like it's personal gain, but just wanting to expand the show to be able to expand the community of it. I also want to be able to create even more content. I don't know why I'm thinking in my head. I feel like it'll be even better for me to create content because I'll be able to drive. So when I'm able to drive, I'll be able to drive to different places where I can highlight different places in person. And I also feel that as the pandemic cases start to die down, because one of the reasons we had to switch back to doing virtual and not doing pre-recorded was because of the rising cases with the pandemic. I hope we'll be able to expand our segments even more and have even more people in person on the show and just be able to like reach my utmost highest visions.
Okay.
So
congratulations.
Thank you both for being on the show. I love you guys.
I want to spit on you.
Don't spit on me. It's weird.
You just had your
Peace up, Ma.
bye.
All
It was
right.
great seeing everybody.
This was fun. I really, really, really enjoyed this. It has been amazing having you both on the Teendom with me tonight. And also, everybody, make sure to go on, you can either go on my personal YouTube, Ask Avery K, or go on my Instagram at Ask Avery K, and you can watch some of the CA Squared episodes that we've done. Believe me, it's much shorter than this. And just be able to see me and my family, because it's really cool. So thank you all so much for watching the Teendom Talk Show 2nd year anniversary special. It has been so awesome. I'm Avery, you're
Amy,
and you're.
It's a wrap. Avery's dad.
All right, and we are peacing out. See you guys
2
here
years.
next week. 2 years.